This is from Biafra's Got Talent. We are letting Biafrans know the reason why we should remember those who gave their lives for us, those who died that we may live.
You died to end my suffering. You died fighting for my freedom. Your blood is the seed of redemption. You are my inspiration.
The deed no wrong with them, military shots at them. 67 to 70, we remember them. 2016, 38 May, memory still lives in our mind till today. Wonder why they refuse to publicize the genocide. The world media turn blind eyes to our plight. It's time to arise, land of the rising sun. Let's rise one more time, let's rise.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Tell them I got that day. Remember when me tell you say I got that day. Yeah, I remember that one that called us a prospero. But the way you go like a papa nuku. But then when we go me tell you what I look and the what on this amiro. Me tell you what I day. For me the plan and the rest of man I tell you what I day. Me no back and forth. Me tell them
Fallen heroes, I want to promise you something today. We must fight together, no retreat and no surrender. We must hold them down till the end of time. The most important thing is that we will restore Biafra. May your soul rest in peace.
I look up to the sky with tears in my eye. For other Biafrans and for freedom had to die. We will never forget you as the days go by. You are always in my heart, you'll never be apart. They fought for our freedom. They died for our freedom. They fought the Nigerian soldiers in the war front. Without food, without guns. For our freedom, for our life, for our own good, for our children. We love them, our heroes. We want them.
My heart bleeds when I saw them slain. Where will I be now if not then? They will remain indelible in my heart forever, 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 and never, and never, and never.
We serve in your plantation, and the way you paid us back with your bloody starvation. We play in our history that the death of my people is a mystery. No going back to get to a victory. I had a voice now call for vengeance. I never get bombed, I'ma blow like a vengeance.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Where will I be now? If not you, you died at Mali.
Yeah, we are starved to death because of our freedom, and they paid the debt for our freedom. Flag high for those that died in the genocide, fighting for you and I. There is pain in our heart, we bleeding inside, tears in the eyes for our fallen heroes.
This is for my fallen heroes. Give them a motivation, people. It's like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Cause to be a gas, I need to be a nurse. If we did not retire,
They paid the ultimate price. They died for the freedom of unborn child. We live for the legacies.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright. Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. in the air. Never be afraid. March on, cause we are more than conquerors. Yeah, you know what it is. We must revenge, and we must stand to represent who we are.
Akara m ihe mbe na-eme mbe si ma achọrọ ofu ukwu ehi ma nke ọzọ mụ achọrọ ihe niile ma ụkwụ ya ma aka ya ma isi ya ma olu ya anyị ga-adọbiri wee pụọ na nke onwe anyị tighata azụ etu anyị nọ tupu ndị ọcha wee bịa ebe a nwa aha obodo ebe a nwe ndị mmadụ n'ime tupu nwa bekee si ebe o si hapụ obodo ya ọ bịa ebe a ọkpọrọ onye nke ọkpọrọ okeke ọkpọrọ okafọ dakata anyị isi ọ sị n'ụbọchị nke taa na anya aha anyị wuzi Naijiria anyị na-aza aha na-enweghị omimi n'ime ya ihe mgbagbasị biko kọwara m ihe Naijiria pụtara enwepụghị kọwara m ọmụa ga-aza aha osimiri ka osimiri ga-aza aha mụnwa n'ihi ihe anyị na-ekwuwu na ebe a rụgidere ụlọ a na ọ jọgburu onwe ya ọ dịghị mma Naijiria agaghị emekọtanwu ihe ọzọ ihe ọjọọ emego n'obodo a arụ emego egbugo ndị be anyị aka na-egbukwa anyị ndị Fulani wee chere na mabata be anyị ka na-egbukwa ndị be anyị ruo ụtụtụ echi a na-asị m na ọ ga-adị mma oge ọ na-ekwekwu ka nwee mmekọrịta bụ nke ndị nụkọ nke ndị ụmụnne ha egosighị anyị ọtụtụ mgbe ha kpọrọ anyị asị onye ajụrụ ajụ na-ajụ onwe ya ha jụrụ anyị aja ama njụ onwe anyị agbanyeghị na anyị nwe ngwa ahịa n'ugwu Awụsa agbanyeghị na anyị na-azụ ahịa ebe niile dị iche iche na-eme nke ọma kama onye gara ndụ kpakụ onye ire rie n'ihe ọ Ndụbụisi ka anyị na-ekwu okwu ya ka anyị cheghata azụ ebe a ruo obodo anyị ka o wee maa mma wee karịa obodo ndị ọcha na mma ọhịa anyị na-arịọ nwekwe na ugwu nwee nkwanye ugwu n'ime onwe anyị ọnwa anyị pụọ n'iro a na-etigbu anyị pụọ n'iro ekwu okwu asị ọ bụ gịnị ma anyị ji wee ekwu okwu ụmụ ihe ndị a ka anyị sị na anyị agaghị anabatakwa ya ọzọ
akụkọ akọrọ anyị bụ na ọkụkọ na ewu agaghị nzukọ ụmụ anụmanụ a na-emezi mgbe ọbụla a chọrọ ịchụ aja ejiri ọkụkọ maọbụ nwụchụ aja mgbe ọbụla a chọrọ ime ka Naijiria dị n'otu enwe ha na-eto esi wee kpam akpụrụ ndị Igbo ọ pụtara na anyị bụ ọkụkọ maọbụ ka ọ pụtara na anyị agaghị nzukọ mere ya bụ ihe eji eme anyị bụ ndị Igbo ụdị na ọbara ndị Igbo ahụ kpafu n'obodo Naijiria agaghị
ọ bụ site na akpamasị ihe na-eme anyị dịka ihe mere ndị ji oge mgbe gara aga etu akụkọ mba niile dị iche iche ji kpọọ ụmụ Izrel asị a na-egbu ha afọ niile aka na-egbu ha o wee ruo oge ugbu anyị asị na ogbugbu a na-egbu anyị na ọ dịghị anyị mma ọ ka mma na onwe ihe kegbuo anyị nwere onwe njem a nke anyị na-aga kama na na-esi etete n'ụtụtụ asị na onwe onye gburu ebe a onwe ha na-ekwu okwu o doo na nyere onwe onye n'aka ụkọchukwu n'ugwu Awụsa ebepụ isi ọnwụghị ofu ugboro ọnwụghị ugboro abụọ ọnwụghị ugboro atọ ọnwụghị ugboro anọ ọ bụ ruo ole mgbe ka a ga-egbugide anyị wee rue anyị asị mba na anyị ga-aga ka anyị nwee ike wee nwere onwe anyị ọ ka mma na anyị nwụrụ ebe anyị na-azọ nwere onwe tụbụ na anyị nọ n'ụlọ etu a mmadụ bụ mabata n'ime ụlọ mbịa bupụ m isi a sị na-achọghị ụdị nka ọ bụghị anyị maka a ga-eji wee chụọ àjà ọzọ
onye si na ya ga-ata anyị ahụhụ ma ọ bụ na anyị fe arụsị anyị wee na-efe arụsị mgbe were iwe gị na ọmụma gị wee bịa leta anyị ụmụ anyị wee na-anwụsị ụfọdụ nọ n'ụzọ ije ha anaghị alọta ụlọ ọzọ nne na nna wee na-ata ahụhụ wee na-ata ikikere eze nwaanyị konye ka ọ gaa ubi gaa rụọ ọrụ Fulani chiri ehi bata ebe ala ihe nne n'iyi okwu ebepụ ya isi anyị bụ ka anyị kpọpụ onye nwe anyị n'ugwu Awụsa ahụ ejide anyị wee gbuo ihe ọ bụ anyị mara aka n'ime ha si maka ha aga n'ihu elekwa ọdụ ụgbọ mmiri n'igwe ọcha bụ ememiri ọhịa nke dị na Kalaba otu aka ahụ anyị na-ala nsọ ebe Biafra bụ ndị kọstọm sokwenye anyị n'etiti anyị anọghị n'ime mmiri kama kọstọm juru ebe niile ha wee na-ata anyị ahụhụ anyị kwuo sịpụta anyị ka kpọchie anyị kwuo sịpụta anyị ka gbagbuo anyị onye nwe anyị na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe ọ bụ ụzọ dị agha ka isi wepụ ndị iro anyị n'anya wee karịa ndị nke gị akwa anyị bụ ụmụ Chineke akwa ọba aha anyị ka anyị na-aza akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza ike Chukwu akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza amara Chineke akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chisom akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chizọba nna nke dị nsọ onye ime eluigwe dịka otu onye iro dị na anyị bụ ụmụ gị bịa ka iwe zọpụta anyị bịa ka iwe napụta anyị n'aka ọjọọ ihe bịa ka iwe lụọrọ anyị ọgụ bịa ka iwe dị etu ozu ọgbọgọwa memilere Goliath Chineke nna nke igwe ruo memile Fero sikwa otu a mee ka Fero ka ọ guzo n'ihu ụmụ ndị anyị bịa ka o wee taa akwụkwọ igiri ọtọ ọsọ ị ga na-edu anyị n'ụzọ niile nke ezi omume ọ bụla adịghị na anyị na-aga ndagwurugwu onyinye ọnwụ ọ bụbụ nwa bụ ekele n'igwe n'ụwa nwunye ọbụla kere gị nweghị mmalite nweghị ọgwụgwụ kama anyị onwe anyị kwa anọkwa ahụ ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ n'ezie kama ma akọ na okwu gị na-anọgide ebe mgbe ebighị ebi ọ bụ ya mere anyị ji were gị n'anya isi anyị wee na-asị nna nke dị nsọ bịa ka iwe gosi anyị Biafra na ndụ na-abụghị n'ọnwụ bịa ka iwe na-ekebe gị na amara gị wee kpuchiri anyị ka uwe bịa ka iwe zọpụta ndị nke gị bịa ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ka anyị na-ewetụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'aha gị onye bụ Chukwu nke abịa ma onye si na ya ga-ata anyị ahụhụ ma ọ bụ na anyị fe arụsị anyị wee na-efe arụsị mgbe were iwe gị na ọmụma gị wee bịa leta anyị ụmụ anyị wee na-anwụ anyị wee na-asị nna nke dị nsọ bịa ka iwe gosi anyị Biafra na ndụ na-abụghị n'ọnwụ bịa ka iwe na-ekebe gị na amara gị wee kpuchiri anyị ka uwe bịa ka iwe zọpụta ndị nke gị bịa ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ka anyị na-ewetụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'aha gị onye bụ Chukwu nke abịa ma
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on this very quick evening program. I appreciate everyone that has connected. As always, our evening section is a quick one, a kind of a recap of what we did in the morning and what is going on in the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. We are still on the aftermath of the sit at home that we just had. And I appreciate everyone that participated on that sit at home. And before we proceed, I want to remind every one of us that in this platform, we don't come here to instigate violence. We don't come here to attack people or individuals. All we do here is to say things the way they are. We are not here to instigate violence, to preach hate, or to attack any persons. All we are doing here is to present Biafra before the world as the only remedy to the failed state Nigeria. So we will continue to present Biafra as the only remedy, no matter what we see. Excuse me. No matter the temptation, no matter the obstacle, no matter the attacks, no matter what happens, we will continue to do what we have to do to make sure that Biafra is put in the front line. So, my brothers and sisters, I appreciate everyone that made that very sit at home with success. Do not feel disappointed, do not feel discouraged because they have been pushing their propaganda to let people know that we didn't do anything. They want people to believe that our sit at home was not successful. But this is something they will always do. They will always try to make their propaganda. You have seen the Soludo propaganda video. Soludo pulled out a propaganda video where he hired some people and put them in front. And those people he hired, he used them to begin to do so many things and line them up in the name of people who came to markets. But we got the real video. And that is why I love the Biafran people. Biafrans know they carry last. Anytime there is a call for a sit at home or something to do, the Biafran people, every one of us is with our phone. We get the real information, first-hand information, and we send that across to our media. All the Biafran media, they reported the sit at home. Which I showed even somebody that was driving, I showed it. But go to their conventional media, they are telling lies. More especially Arise TV, Abati, the criminal Abati, was given the impression that there was no sit at home. People came out, market is normal, people are moving about. Nonsense, arrant nonsense. The Biafrans know what they want, and they will continue to hear their opinion. Now that the international community is focusing on the situation of Nigeria, this is not the time for us to back down. This is not the time for us to listen to any propaganda or blackmail. This is not the time for us to pretend. It is time for us to continue to do everything we are doing, even double it. It is time for us to double our effort. If you have not been participating in the sit at home before, this is the time to participate. This is the time to join. So I urge every one of you, don't worry yourself. I thank Chukwu Okama that now the Liberation Army of Biafra are there to protect the land. They are there to secure our bushes and forests, and they will continue to be there to do what they have to do. So wherever you are, whoever you are, in any angle, you must continue to remain strong, remain consistent. If you know anything you can do to see that everything we are doing is progressive and successful, please continue to do it. Continue to do it. If you know anything you can do to see that Biafra moves forward, do it. Stop listening to propaganda. Stop attacking your brother or sister. I have said it. Unity of purpose is what I have been preaching. I have been preaching this thing since last year. Since after the this thing, I've been preaching it. So any group you belong, anywhere you feel, that is where you can be able to operate. Fingers are not equal. There is division of labor. Some of us are good in defense. Some of us are good in diplomacy. Some of us are good in media. Some of us are blessed with finance. If you are financially blessed, you want to support the defense, you know where to go. Those who are in defense, you know them. The Biafra Liberation Army, they are doing a great job in defense. If you want to support Mazi Simon Ekpa and his law case, everybody of you know where to go. The law case of Mazi Simon Ekpa, some people have not been able to bring out an international lawyer. If you want to support diplomacy, you know people who are in charge of diplomacy. You can support them diplomatically. So anyone, you can stop attacking and don't attack anybody. Everybody have the right to fight for this struggle. Everybody have the right. Mazi Nnamdi made a speech. He said, I love everybody. He appreciated everybody. He appreciated everybody. He said, every single one of us, he said he can't even count the number of people who are fighting for Biafra. Every group. So you yourself, any group where you are, if your mind and your heart convinces you that this is the group that your spirit captured, please stay there. Support them the best way you can. Support them in their own angle, in whatever they are doing. Support them. In this struggle, just check within your own self. Let your heart speak to you. Not because Okeke told you or Okafo told you or because this person said or because that person said. Your own word within your own heart. If you are convinced to support any group, please go ahead. As for me, I am an independent man. I support Biafra and I don't support a group. I support Biafra. Any group that does something that favors Biafra, I will promote it. I will share it on my platform. I will speak about it. You don't need to consult me. You don't need to tell me what to do. You don't need to direct me. Just do your own job and let the world see. When I see it, I will blow the trumpet. That is where I stand. And that is how I started. I am going back to my root. That is where I am today. I am back to my root. The only thing that bothers me is Biafra. I don't care about position. I don't care about title. I don't care about enrichment. I don't care about viewership. I don't care about it. All I care about is Biafra. I don't want to be in exile. I don't want to die in exile. I want to go back home, Biafra land. I want to die in Biafra land, not in exile. I want to die in Biafra land. And now that we have the opportunity to return home, let every hand be on deck. That unity of purpose, whichever group that speak, if anybody that's not a Biafra hears you, what you'll be hearing is Biafra. Anybody that listens to you, most especially those of us that are in the media, if you are in the media, on the comment section, you're typing or you're speaking, when you come up, speak positively to Biafra. Remove your brother, your sister in your mouth. Stop abusing, cursing, calling names. You are not making any headway. You are just stagnating everybody. You are stagnating everybody, including yourself. You are stagnating everybody, including yourself. So enough of this bickering, enough of these lies, enough of this attack right, left, and center. We have done it enough. This is 2026. And I said it at the beginning of 2026 that this year is going to be a year of critical thinking. A year that anything you know you can offer, go ahead and offer it. A year that we will present Biafra the way that it can be acceptable by the world. We thank Chukwu Abiyama that somebody today cares about what is happening in Nigeria. Somebody today cares about what is happening to Biafran people. It is a plus. It is an addition. It is something to be happy about. So why are you not paying attention? Why are you not happy? Why are you not happy? Why are you still pretending that all is well? Why can't you embrace this goodwill? Why can't you embrace this goodwill and allow Chukwu Abiyama to do marvelous work for us that he has already started? Wherever you are watching from, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Abiyama, don't allow the propaganda, the blackmail of the enemies, the Janjaweed to get you. They will never stop. If you think they will stop, they will not stop. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu warned us about today. Nnamdi Kanu warned us that today is coming. When Nigerian government have committed so much amount of money to derail our cause, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say it is a time that you will use your mental strength. It is the time that we are going to go down into our heart and bring out our mental strength. We must be mentally strong. We must be mentally sophisticated. We must not allow anything to distract us. We are in that time. We are in that time. So, my beloved brothers and sisters, wherever you are, a lot is still going to happen. Mazi Samorafa told us that if you think you have seen propaganda, wait, more is coming. If you think you have seen propaganda, just wait a little while. You have not seen nothing yet. You are going to see more propaganda, more blackmail, more lies. They are going to do more things just to make people believe that we don't know what we are doing. So, my brother, my sister, wherever you are, don't allow anybody to distract you. Continue to put your effort. Continue to put your strength. Continue to put your energy. Continue to do anything you know you can do to make sure that our freedom is sure. Wherever you are, as long as you genuinely want freedom, whether you are a Biafran or non-Biafran and you care about freedom, this is the time to air your opinion, because we have seen that it is more than clear. Maybe before people will be guessing, but now anybody that is still guessing whether Nigeria will be good or not, you still are in guesswork. Sorry, you are not telling yourself the truth. You are lying to yourself. You are lying to yourself. So, my fellow Biafrans, I appreciate everyone that participated on this very just ended sit at home. It was a success. I appreciate with all the attack. I know what it is to be in Nigeria and participate in that sit at home. I know what it is to be in Nigeria and continue to obey instructions. It is not easy. So I appreciate everybody that participated in that sit at home yesterday. It was a massive success. We spoke in a loud voice, and I bet you coming Monday is going to be a lockdown again. That Monday sit at home has come to stay. It has come to stay. Do not be afraid. The Liberation Army is there to protect you. But if you disobey and they use you as a propaganda, if you allow Nigerian government to use your propaganda, it is up to you. I have said it time again. Whether I die or I live, Biafra will come. Whether you die or you live, Biafra will come. The only prayer we're making is that every one of us that is making this effort, we want to be alive to see Biafra in our lifetime. We want to see Biafra in our lifetime. I appreciate every single one of you. And now we are going to go into their media, as we always do. Let us go to their media houses and let us see what they have in their media. You know, in their media, we always go there to check them out. And the reason we go there to check them out is that if you don't listen to them and hear what they are saying, you will not know what to debunk. We go there to watch them, what they say. So that when they say those things that are lies, when they tell those lies against us, we will debunk it immediately. We will debunk it immediately without wasting time. That is why we always go to their media. We go there and look on their news, check on what they have there, make research on it, and we speak on it. And that is what we will continue to do. No matter their propaganda, no matter that, we will not allow you to fly. So we will be following them on their media bumper to bumper. Let us listen to their media and hear the report they have for today on their media. More especially this criminal Arise TV. Let us hear.
Well, good morning to you viewers. Let's begin what's trending. With a disturbing development from the presidency following a controversial statement made by presidential advisor Bayo Onanuga, who called for vandals to be shot on sight, sparking widespread outrage on social media. The statement came in response to viral footage showing the reconstruction efforts of the Ibadan-Ilesha Federal Highway after vandals cut and removed shoulder roads at the construction site. While the video posted on Friday, officials from the Federal Ministry of Works expressed frustration, calling out individuals destroying what's being done by the federal government. Let's take a look.
Because the courts out of it, they remove money. There are some things in them now they will use that one to cut the one that is very solid, very solid that they cannot. But the one they can remove it entirely, and this has started as this is a very bad plan.
Well, in a swift reaction on Sunday, Bayo Onanuga posted on X. He wrote, "Just shoot these unconscionable vandals, thieves at sight. They are worse species of citizenship." Well, this post has ignited a public spat between Bayo Onanuga and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's aide, Frank Shaibu, who condemned the statement, arguing that as a government spokesman, Onanuga cannot call for citizens to be shot on sight. Well, here's Frank Shaibu's post on X. He wrote, "Row Onanuga, as a government spokesman, you cannot call for citizens to be shot at sight. That is not law enforcement. It is lawlessness. Anyone who talks like this has no business in public office. Nigeria is not a killing field. Crimes are handled through arrest, investigation, and the courts, not instant death orders from reckless statements. Today is vandals, tomorrow it could be protesters, critics, or anyone who disagrees. Honestly, this is worrying. I just hope you haven't joined the smoking gang." Well, Dr. Bati later on that Sunday night, Shaibu, critiqued Onanuga's phrasing of, shoot at sight instead of shoot on sight, prompting Onanuga to fire back, calling Shaibu a foolish boy, insisting both usages are correct. I mean, we are now moving into grammatical debate in this sort of conversation. But the main issue here is the government spokesperson calling for vandals to be shot at sight or shoot on sight. I mean, it's really worrying, Dr. Abati.
I think shoot on sight.
Yes.
Is the correct expression because we use British expression. Yeah, in
Nigeria,
not America.
not American.
Shoot on sight. Shoot on sight. However, why you do this? However, the basic thing to note is that to say people should be shot on sight amounts to recommending extrajudicial killing.
Yes.
Or recommending jungle justice.
That is Nigeria for you.
Nowhere
Shoot on sight.
in our jurisdiction that is allowed. If a man commits a crime, there's something.
There is no jurisdiction in Nigeria. This thing Onanuga said is what they are doing. When you protest, they shoot at you. When you speak, they shoot at you. Is it because Onanuga typed it that you shoot at? This is what they are doing. Up to today, they are doing it in Biafra land. When they see a member of IPOB, they shoot him. They have killed many Biafrans just because they are Biafrans, just because they are holding flag. But now, look at the man just wrote it and they are talking as if they are serious. Meanwhile, this is what they are doing to Biafran people every day. Once you protest in Nigeria, they shoot. Even protest is shoot on sight. That is what they do. For we Biafrans, for the fact that there's a policeman will tell you that the only thing he needs to shoot you is to take Biafran flag and put on you, or any Biafran insignia, put on you, and you are gone. Just because you are a Biafran. On sight, they shoot you. This order has been in Biafra land now for many years, since the time of Buhari. Shoot on sight has been the order of the day. The military continue. Every day we see cops. Every day we see it. We see it on video. On video. But these idiots will not talk about it. They will not talk about it because Ononuga called for shoot on sight for people who are breaking this. Is it because that he wrote it? They have been doing it. They have been doing it, and none of you is talking about it. Bunch of idiots.
Due process. Right. We take it through due process. The Nigerians will say, even when you commit a crime, they take you to the police station, from police station to court. The justice administration's process is likely to fail. So many Nigerians have now resorted to extrajudicial killing and jungle justice, so that when they catch somebody, including one chance people, I think some of them were caught in Abuja. Yes. People just took the laws into their hands. So I think it is wrong to recommend that people should take the laws into their hands. We must always have respect for due process, so that we don't give fuel oxygen to policemen who are always trigger happy.
That is what you do all the time in this studio. You do it. Don't pretend.
So I'm sure Mr. Ononuga, you will probably not make that kind
He's your brother. That is what every one of you do. You instigate violence against the Biafrans.
Now, it's very unfortunate that in this country, when government is trying to help Nigerians, they don't want to help themselves. Look at 10 Mainland Bridge, where they've done some video monitoring thing. And
the people that are cutting those iron now, go and check. It is Fulanis. It is Fulani people, Hausa people that are cutting this thing. They dump out boiler. These people are buying iron, condemn iron. They are the one cutting it. But they will not call their name. They know them.
Former governor, now Minister Umai, and his team have done a lot to. People go there to go and steal things. Yes. Now it's so frustrating. Some people just say, look, just shoot these people. You will be the red line in Nigeria. Nigerians want to understand that it's for their own benefit. They will go there and uproot.
You see, he is now justifying that on another speech. After talking nonsense, he is justifying that on another speech. This man is evil. Call evil evil. Why are you not justifying it?
And sabotage other Nigerians should be shot on sight. So let's summarize by saying Mr. Ononuga was obviously speaking out of emotion and concern, but it is not a lawful thing to recommend.
All right. Well, I'll come to you. Speaking about Nigerians and also infrastructure. Here in Lagos, multiple areas, including Oshodi, Maryland, Nkotu, Lekki, Jakonde, were severely affected by catastrophic floods over the weekend, leaving commuters, especially in Oshodi, stranded for over 6 hours in gridlock as streets turned into rivers with vehicles
That's the Lagos.
in knee-deep water.
They say center of excellence.
Commuters abandoned their vehicles and waded through the flood waters, while others spent the entire day trapped in traffic. Let's take a look.
Imagine Lagos. Lagos State. This is their so-called Lagos. This is their so-called Lagos. Look at this. Their so-called center of excellence. Everywhere have turned to swamp.
This is an unusual occurrence as, we're in the dry season. Reports indicate that the flooding was primarily attributed to blocked drainage system near the Odo-Iyalo Road Bridge. The Lagos State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, also acknowledged that climate change is contributing to the unseasonal rainfall. We're seeing that, this is climate change as well from Tukumbo Baha, but also the fact that they also had, the blocked drainage. And one of the reasons for the blocked drainage is because of carelessness in waste dumping as well. But we're not hearing shoot those people outside.
So the truth, as you said, as regards that Tukumbo Baha should be able to work on that so that the clean will really allow drainage quickly. But there's also climate change. It rained overnight in February. And you're wondering what is happening. It rained in January.
Yes, last night.
It rained last night. Yes. So the truth has to be said, climate change is a big deal. And so for all those climate change skeptics, let us fix it. Let us be true to ourselves.
Yes.
Dr. Abati, Bayo Onanuga will repeat it again. It has become a pattern to make very unguarded statements about Bayo Onanuga.
Always.
About Onanuga made 2023 elections.
Mr. Bayo Onanuga.
Mr. Bayo Onanuga, whatever. Papa Bayo Onanuga, Uncle Bayo Onanuga, Daddy Bayo Onanuga. Let 2023 be the last time that the Igbos will interfere in Lagos politics.
Oh, I remember that.
He never apologized for this message.
Oh, he didn't delete this post either.
He will not
It's still
delete
there.
He went ahead
You're
to call.
calling for extrajudicial killing.
Yeah, he went ahead to call for one frank trial with foolish.
That idiot not see that one. See him, he clean his nose. Abati will not like to see shaking his leg. Abati is shaking his leg. They don't talk to him where they pay now. Why must you mention Igbo?
Is that not how they keep people extrajudicially in this country?
Oh.
Do they keep people on account?
Oh.
Are they accounted for the people that died during NSAS?
Thank you.
It's not gaslighting.
Ask him.
The people during the protest with the Nigerians.
Ask them. Ask Abati. Ask Abati. The idiot he was trying to paint it. See one of the deceivers sit down with you there.
Shoot them aside. I'm sure it's probably thought of it that it happens in Nigeria. There are many people that are just killed like that. Or did you just take the story of somebody that was just taken and imprisoned like that? One of our cameramen's relative here.
Yes, and he's still in. Take it from me. No, he's still in. So I've been trying
on one side of
the police
folks. That's right, Bayo Onanuga will say it again. Him calling for a tribal for the West, he has accused me to one day that I put economic figures. This is stock in trade. So he made very unguarded statements. He will still say it again and again and again and again. No, as I've not finished. I'm still on the point. So, but most importantly, we should build a country that's not the test of time. That people are not just killing the tradition. There are laws for bound and let them follow the laws.
Absolutely.
That's just it. And there are watch guards for them. I think there's a surveillance camera and everything. When they arrest them, they should feel the full force of the law. Just killing people not like that. It's wrong.
Just to add that there's a government agency called the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Force. Their primary duty is to protect public infrastructure. I think government needs to empower the civil defense so that they have the facilities they need, whatever they need, to be able to protect public infrastructure.
Nonsense.
So that people will not go and be stealing public infrastructure.
Nonsense. As if you
for
care.
their own selfish gains. Part of the problem we have in this country is that people don't know that we have a collective responsibility, whoever you may be, plebeian or aristocrat, to make sure that this country survives. When all of us start taking this country seriously and not claiming I'm poor, so I must steal, that's when Nigeria will begin to make progress.
Well said. Okay. Well, all right.
No. They have protection of public infrastructure.
The question I gave the pronouncer, I did not move around with police escorts. You can see.
But it has drastically reduced.
With the presidential pronouncement, people see violating, they are still moving around. Which reduced. And those of people that came for 30 December, ordinary Nigerians, they gave them police protection.
Yeah. All right.
So the presidential pronouncement can help you hold. All right.
All right.
Lack of civic responsibility on the part of ordinary Nigerians.
We'll speak more.
There is nobody that is a Nigerian. That is why nobody respects the law. You come on studio and you talk blah blah. There is nobody that is a Nigerian. That is why nobody is ready to sacrifice himself or to take the pain for Nigeria. And the Nigeria itself don't care about the citizens. All you come to your platform is to blame the citizens, blame the citizens. The so-called Nigeria does not exist, was not created to be a country. This is a company created for forceful control of people, for trade. For trade. How do you want people to sacrifice themselves for it? How do you want people to uphold it? Nobody's going to do that.
More on infrastructure. infrastructure in a welcoming development and in response to ongoing infrastructure challenges, the Lagos state government has announced a partnership with MTN Nigeria to transform the Obalende underbridge into environment and water resources. Tokumbo Wahab is listening, and I hope that he goes to speak with them.
Those are the owners of Lagos, so they will have talked to
the real stakeholders. Well, all right.
Those ones controlling us.
The real stakeholders. You guys get so excited with MC Olomo. What is it? I disagree. Okay, there's also a video in Ekpa that I saw, the same video in Kanu State, where he's organizing, these motor park guys in their uniform, and they were marching and really looking solid. I think he has found a way to, really regularize that. What can we say? Kudos to the Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokumbo Wahab. Now to politics. And the 2027 race, former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has solidified his intention to run for president in 2027 as number one, firmly ruling out the possibility of accepting a vice presidential slot. Obi made the declaration while campaigning for the African Democratic Congress candidates in Abuja's area council elections over the weekend. Let's see.
Please, your support in Ahmad is critical to our journey. I am involved. I'm contesting the next election, and I'm contesting as the number one. I am. When I come back, you will see. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, Peter Obi's declaration comes as he criticized President Tinubu's international engagements this January. In a lengthy post on X, Obi had questioned why the president spent 23 days abroad across two separate trips while Nigeria grappled with mounting kidnappings, insecurity, and two national grid collapses. The president had returned to the country over the weekend after his state visit to Turkey, which began last Tuesday with the goal of strengthening economic ties between both countries. Tinubu made headlines after he tripped and fell on a blue carpet during the Guard of Honor inspection in Ankara while walking alongside Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. The president arrived at Abuja's Nnamdi International Airport on Saturday evening to a crowd of senior government officials lined up to receive him, a spectacle that has sparked heated debate online. Well, an ex-user, Obiaso David, posted a series of tweets, with one of them comparing Tinubu to South Africa's president, Cyril Ramaphosa, with caption, "This is South African President Cyril Ramaphosa departing South Africa on a state visit to Namibia. How many government officials did you see line up to give him a handshake and shine teeth like roasted eagles?" Let's take a look at that video. All right. I mean, people have drawn, sharp comparisons between presidents traveling and walking down from their aircrafts, including one of this video from President Donald Trump. If we can look at that video, this is a recent trip from Donald Trump, and he was, just coming down and with no special aid, no special envoy, no governors, shining teeth like the other ex-user had alluded to at this point. But, this is really a big issue at this moment. Dr. Lati, I'll come to you on the story.
Okay, first, let me just say that protocol formats differ from one country to the other.
You see, idiot.
What they do?
This idiot must support nonsense. What kind of protocol is that?
what we have
This man will always support nonsense.
Our leaders in political positions, they've also inherited this idea that if you are a leader, either you are a governor, even a local government chairman, something as ordinary as even ordinary councillor, you are considered the traditional ruler. You have the first class rulers in government, you have the third class rulers, and you have the barons within the traditional hierarchy. And all of them, they just like to be worshipped. So it's a cultural thing. And then of course our people, politicians, political appointees, they add to it.
This man is evil. This man is evil.
People who should stay in their offices and be doing serious work, they will follow the president to the airport. They will receive him when he arrives. They will leave the work. In fact, somebody should do a study. It will be a good master's student thesis to find out how much time is devoted to psychophancy, just going to say, carry a seat, and every time. In fact, do you know that some Nigerian governors, they leave their states. If it is a 3-day trip and the president, they will see him off, they will wait for him to return, for them to be seen, and then they will receive him again, and then shortchanging their people.
In fact, I've seen an artist make like a huge monument of the governors doing the handshake.
So I think it's also personal choice of the president. Another president can just say, look, I don't want this crowd.
Simple.
Stay in your offices. Exactly. When I return, I just come back. You can come and see me in the residence. Not for them to use petrol that we, the long-suffering people of Nigeria, bought with our money to go to the airport and back just to say welcome, sir. No, it's a caveat system that should be addressed.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? Staying on Nigerian news abroad, the Nigerian High Commission in South Africa on Monday settled its outstanding utility debt after the city of Tshwane disconnected its electricity supply.
Imagine.
The disconnection was announced
They cut their lines. They didn't pay
by
for
Mayor
lines.
Nasifi Moya as part of the city's campaign targeting major debtors, eliciting a flurry of reactions online, with many raising questions about Nigeria's diplomatic missions abroad, as this marks the third time in recent years that a Nigerian facility in South Africa has faced power disconnection over unpaid bills. I'll take a post on X.
Come on, light bill. They couldn't pay.
Tinubu reportedly spent over 34 billion naira on foreign trips in just 2 years. The real problem facing Nigeria becomes obvious. It's not that the country lacks funds. It's that those in power choose to put personal comfort first. Public resources are drained through reckless spending, while every sector of national life continues to deteriorate. I mean, this tweet follows a new Punch investigation report, which revealed that the presidency spent at least 34 billion on foreign exchange purchases for international trips over a 2-year period from 2024 to 2025. The report, which reviewed Nigeria's public payments portal, govspend.com, found the transaction included foreign currencies for official trips, flight operations, ESTA codes, and logistics for top officials, international engagements, while the presidential air fleet accounted for several multi-billion naira transactions on certain days alone. Rufai, we're seeing this sort of conversation out there. 34 billion naira.
Why would you be surprised in a country that lacks accountability? Most of these trips are personal trips. Mr. Bayo Ononuga again came out to tell us that President Tinubu was going to Europe, as if we are daft fools in this country. We're going to Europe.
You are fools now.
Europe, I mean, a continent.
We eventually saw it in France.
We wait now.
Defender.
They're bringing the wife to come and it doesn't stretch neck. Let's take it down. Then after some time, when they felt they wanted to impress themselves, not us, the president now have a private dinner with the president of the same private dinner that they couldn't even get the proper picture, that they used AI to spruce up and make the picture look better. They didn't get a proper cameraman with the picture. You know, we first tracked down before they finally admitted that it was AI that they used. And I released the picture. And he now stayed there, carry, he did stay there for the first 15 days of the year. He now went to Abu Dhabi. As he went to Abu Dhabi, he came back. 8 days later, he went again. In the month of January, just 8 days, 15 days out. The question Nigerians have not asked is, what did he want?
Is it 15 days out? Peter Obi said it was 23 days out.
No, 8 days. He only spent 8 days in Nigeria. 15 days, yes. And the remaining days.
Yes, so they said in the
tomorrow,
23 days.
He spent our money, he spent our forex, he spent our fuel, and that plane, very big, Airbus, they drink fuel. He spent all our fuel, he paid parking charges with our money for a private holiday. What did he go do? I'm sure they took the picture so that they will say, hey, you are talking to the president of Rwanda, investment, working trip. That's what they will do. What is he always going to do in France? At least we have a right to ask that. How will they pay South African consuming money when most of the money is being used to run the president? 34 billion. I made the calculation, okay. 34 billion will build close to 300 schools. More basic level schools, close to 300 schools. That's what the president, he has just burnt it. He can't account for it. So we are asking, what country do we want? If we say all of this, that the next man will come, he will tweet foolish boy. Foolish boy.
Yeah. I want to say something on South African story.
Okay,
just South African context.
I know we pay the money back.
Yeah, we have. Let's restore power. It's a shame. And the truth is that you can't give what you don't have. This is what we're used to doing here. Recall that even government agencies were owing local discos such that they put out a circular. But what we do here is that we silence them rather than pay up our debts, and that's something we couldn't do in essay. But to give a context to this so that people don't feel like money was released and they didn't pay for the bill. I was speaking to a retired ambassador, and she was talking about the difficulties that they face in stations abroad, and they're not well funded.
Yes.
Usually when money is released, it will take a while for the money to be released, and it's paid in naira, not in dollars. And inflation figures or even the rate affects it. And so a lot of them sometimes even out of pocket pay for some of the expenses abroad. So just to put it that it's not because those are in South Africa needs the money. So sometimes it's that they are grossly underfunded. Hence we see this kind of national embarrassment. But thankfully that it's been rectified. Yeah, but it's good that we're seeing the opposition, like Peter Obi, criticize. Even call out these sort of action. And it's good that we have, the website godspend.com. We have to continue to hold the government to account. Well, let's head over to Kaduna State now, where dignitaries, including Vice President Kashim Shettima, World Trade Organization Director General Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, and former Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, were all on the stage over the weekend commissioning projects and praising Governor Uba Sani's administration. The Vice President officially commissioned the Tudumbiri Resettlement Scheme, featuring 133 housing units, educational facilities, and modern infrastructure for victims of a 2023 military drone strike that killed over 100 people during a Prophet Muhammad birthday celebration. Meanwhile, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala toured AMA Medical Manufacturing Facilities, alongside the former Archbishop Justin Welby, praising the strides being made in developing vaccines on Nigerian soil, a critical progress for a continent that imports over 80% of all
Okonjo-Iweala, in all these things, which one was done in your own place? All this establishment, calling Archbishop of Canterbury, establishing this and that, in the northern part of Nigeria, where Boko Haram, they say they don't want education. Okonjo-Iweala, your brothers and sisters that are well educated and looking for where to work and what to do, how many projects have Nigeria built in Southeast Biafra land? None. How many? All the money, up to today, they are still channeling all the money, wealth in Biafra land to the northern part of Nigeria. That Archbishop of Canterbury, a criminal, this was a criminal who came to cover up the late Muhammad Buhari. That British Archbishop of Canterbury. In a time, have you ever heard him say anything about Christian genocide? Have you heard him say anything about Christian genocide? That is why you see people, they run away from Christianity. When you talk about Christianity, they tell you go and sit down. It is because of this bunch of idiots. Look at the country while wearing overall, going there to inaugurate or whatever they say. I don't you go carry on that we are awake and we are gone. We are not part of their zoo. These are the people that they have removed them. They have removed them from Nigerian history, and none of them is talking. And you will not even hear that talk in any media. Removing Igbo in Nigerian history. No media will report it.
Medicines and vaccines. Well, during a courtesy visit to Governor Ubasani, Archbishop Justin Welby, who was in Kaduna State as a guest speaker at Ahmadu Bello University's convocation lecture, commended the state's remarkable transformation from the deep ethno-religious tensions he witnessed during his 2002 visit to the relative peace and stability today. He described the
propaganda
as evidence of
which peace do they have? Which peace do Kabila have? Which peace do they have? They use their media to push nonsense. Like these people are a bunch of idiots. With the terrorism that happened, the killing of Christians that have intensified, increased. This man said that he came now. That is really, where is relative peace in Nigeria as a whole? Where? Where is relative peace? That this, you see, these British people, these are criminals. This bishop, these people are criminals. And I don't blame people who tell you today they don't want to be part of Christianity again. Because you can't imagine, I can't imagine to be in the same Christianity with these idiots. These idiots who they use to paint us evil, they use them to divert attentions. God will never forgive them. God will never forgive every one of you, both the presenters. God will never forgive all of us.
Reconciliation efforts and inclusive leadership under the Kaduna Peace Model.
Look at the Kaduna. Kaduna inclusive. Kaduna inclusive government. Where?
Well, all three dignitaries praised Governor Ubasani's commitment to peace, healthcare, infrastructure, and inclusive governance. Congratulations to Kaduna State.
All this is his propaganda. In a time that Christian genocide is on the top. These idiots they brought from Canterbury will not speak about it.
The Director General of the
Mad
World
people
Trade
everywhere.
Organization, who was honored with a Doctor of Science honoris causa by Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, at the institution's 45th convocation ceremony on Saturday.
These are propagandists, all of them. It is all propaganda. Mad people. Bunch of idiots and criminals. It is just waste of time listening to this nonsense because you can see, every one of us can see how they are fighting so hard to sweep the genocide under carpet. The Christian genocide that United States Donald Trump have raised, protect them, protect Christians. They don't want to talk about it. They went and brought Archbishop of Canterbury to come and tell you that there is relative peace in Kaduna. Which Kaduna? Is it the same Kaduna that they just kidnapped recently? And that man is there. He will not say anything about the kidnapping. She will not say anything about kidnapping. That is how they are manipulating your people. God have mercy upon them. Look at Mazi kind of languishing in jail for nothing. For doing nothing. Mazi Nnamdi is in detention for no just cause. What did he do? Nothing. He didn't commit any crime. They convicted Mazi Nnamdi with non-existing law. Non-existing law was not ready to commit Mazi Nnamdi. And all of a sudden, everybody have forgotten about it. They are going about everything. They went in and took him and locked him up in Sokoto. Everybody forgot about it and they're going about their businesses. I want us to hear this interview from Ejimako. I want us to hear this interview from Alo Ejimako. Let's listen to this interview.
People seem to have lost sight of what the bone of contention was. motion wasn't terrorism or treason, but agitation for a separate state. And there's a proviso in that. If you treat us well, we're happy to be Nigerians. That's what he's saying. He has always said that. He has always made it clear that Biafra is not absolute. It's a means to an end. If you don't treat us well, equally, as Nigerians, then you let us go and have a separate state. That's what Mazi was saying.
All right, let's look at when you were lead counsel for Nnamdi Kanu on this matter. How did you navigate all the moving traps, the landmines, everything to the point when you step out or step down as the lead counsel?
My stint as lead counsel was very fulfilling. I cannot complain. I am trying to handle cases, even when the cases are stuff, such as the case of Mazi. You will recall that I assumed the role of lead counsel in February of 2024. And the first step I took when that happened was to file for restoration of his bail. I had anchored this application on what the Supreme Court had said when they remitted this case back to the High Court. The Supreme Court has said it clearly in a concurring judgment that the revocation of his bail was unfair and it shouldn't have happened, and that the revocation smacked of suspicion of partiality on the part of the High Court that revoked it. And the Supreme Court also cited with approval the judgment I had obtained in January of 2022 from the High Court of Abia State, which condemned the invasion of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's house in September 2017 and awarded him 1 billion naira. And the High Court had blamed that invasion for being the sole reason Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had to leave Nigeria and failed to appear at his trial. So the Supreme Court blamed the government squarely, totally and absolutely, for what the government termed jumping on bail on the part of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So the Supreme Court said basically that he didn't jump bail. So for those reasons, a High Court should have taken the sound decision of revoking his bail. So, and I proceeded to file, but it was denied. And then I appealed it, and I had to go to appeal. The second step I took to test whether the field of play was going to be fair was to challenge the jurisdiction of the court to submit him to trial. There were judicial issues inherent in his case. Number one was that the charge sheet or the offenses he was alleged to have committed stemmed from broadcasts he made from a foreign soil. That foreign soil was not named, but the laws of Nigeria required that the location of the act leading to the offense be named if it occurred overseas, if it occurred abroad or in a foreign land. That is the only way jurisdiction can be conferred on the Federal High Court, because a determination has to be made first whether that very act of broadcast considered an offense where it occurred. So we know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was between Britain and Kenya on the dates specified on the charge sheet, which were between 2018 and 2021. He was either in Kenya or in Britain. And then you are going to say that you, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, made a broadcast that led to an offense in Nigeria, and he didn't indicate where he made the broadcast, and it wasn't in Nigeria. But the laws of Nigeria, in particular, the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act, Section 76, sub 1D3, required that before the Federal High Court can assert jurisdiction over a terrorism-related offense that emanated from a foreign soil, that country has to be named so that it will be determined whether that conduct is also considered a crime there. It didn't happen in this case. So on that basis and on the basis of other secondary factors and issues, I and my team, my able team, we raised an objection to the jurisdiction, to the authority of the court to subject him to trial, but that objection was denied in September. I think either August or September of 2024, whereupon we proceeded to the oral to determine the question. And then from there, things began to unravel, the recusal of the judge, the assignment of the case, and so on and so forth, the new judge, all the way to March 2025, when I stepped down as lead counsel and handed over the man to Chief Kanu.
Looking at the obvious from what you said now, you tried to test the waters, and of course, you saw that undoubtedly the waters were definitely not going to be fair. So, did it affect their confidence in the judiciary still going ahead with the case?
Well, as a lawyer, if I lose confidence in the judiciary, I have a better hand for my shingles than my boots and whatever I put in protection and resort to famine and the face open meetings and so on and so forth. I still have confidence in the judiciary. I live in this country. I apply the trade of a legal practitioner. I practice law. So when I take cases to court, I take those cases to court with full confidence that I'm stepping to the halls of justice and justice shall be done. My problem was with the prosecution, the pace, the attrition, the muscular approach, the aggression that was fueling that prosecution can overwhelm any judicial system. You can take example of President Trump. You remember he was subjected to aggressive prosecution in New York, and they convicted him, I think, for 34 counts of criminal offenses, but he proceeded to become president of the United States. So the judiciary in New York was as overwhelmed as I believe the judiciary in Nigeria was overwhelmed regarding Mazi Nnamdi's case. So that was why my push against that very process was directed mostly towards the prosecution, rather than the judiciary that was sitting there and the case was thrown into their lap. And like I said in a previous interview, the judiciary is not infallible. It can make mistakes. Take example of some election petitions. We have had decisions emanating from the judiciary from election petitions that roiled this system, that convulsed Nigeria, that Nigerians believe that we are patently unfair. So judiciary can make errors. So I'm very reluctant in attributing any mischief to the judiciary as a lawyer. I'm an officer in the Temple of Justice. It's my duty to protect the system that I expect to give justice to me and to other Nigerians. But it's also duty to criticize the system when it goes wrong. And in this case of Mazi Nnamdi, both the conviction and the sentencing were clearly wrong. And I will stand to say it any day. It was an error of law and error of fact.
Let's look at reference to the judgments he got from Umuahia High Court, 1 billion naira. All these cases where he got judgments and even cost, has any effort been made to pay it?
Well, none of these judgments, has been paid by the federal government. I have 3 judgments in my key. The one on Umuahia that you mentioned for 1 billion. I got one also from the Federal High Court for 500 million. I got that condemned his rendition and ordered that he may return to Kenya. If he was returned to Kenya, this trial or prosecution wouldn't have happened. The federal government disobeyed all of that. I got one from the Enugu State High Court that condemned the proscription of IPOB and awarded 8 billion naira to Mazi Nnamdi. That judgment was never implemented to this day. The implementation could have been less towards the monetary aspect and more towards the prescribing IPOB. 3 or 4 or even 5 of the charges alleged against Nnamdi were all based on the prescription of IPOB. So if IPOB was de-prescribed and re-designated as a non-terrorist group, Mazi Nnamdi would have faced prosecution for those alleged offenses. So I wasn't really more into
the monetary aspect of this judgment. I was more into the policy expressed in those judgments. That if the federal government had obeyed a single one, and particularly the one for the Federal High Court of Mazi Nnamdi would not be in Nigeria today. He would be in Kenya fighting extradition request from Nigeria, which was what they were supposed to do in the first place. But they didn't. So it goes back to that extraordinary action, which is a remarkable legal defense for him, but which the Supreme Court unfortunately and erroneously rejected as a barrier to his prosecution. I still stand by my proposition, of which I was the first to step out in July, as far back as 7th July 2021. Check it out. That was 8 days after Mazi Nnamdi was brought into Nigeria, and everybody was saying he was extradited. I came forward and I said, no, this is not extradition, it's extraordinary rendition. And the government has triggered a honestness of judicial and prosecutorial challenges to its power to bring Mazi Nnamdi to trial by the dint of this criminal conduct by the state. It's a criminal conduct by the state. So that the Federal High Court came down with a gavel and confirmed it and ordered you to pay 500 million. Well, maybe you can tell you a while about the 500 million and put me to the pain of garnishment or garnishing proceedings. But what about the order? The part of the order directing you to restore him to the status quo by returning him to Kenya, and they ignored that. He did not pay any attention and he continued the prosecution. That was why I even took the extra step of going on a public protest, which was directed against the presidency, against the prosecution, not against the court. The case is clear. That has to be made clear. I had problem with prosecuting Mazi Nnamdi from the beginning. Check it out, Google it, from 2021. I didn't believe that he was subject to prosecution. I do believe that Mazi Nnamdi is a victim of manifest, tremendous prosecutorial misconduct that started with his rendition or his kidnapping on June 19 on Kenyan soil, and his forcible rendition or transfer to Nigeria on 27th June 2021. So all these factors convinced me that the state had no valid case against him. And that was what guided my approach to this case for even when I was in counsel. And what I feared happened on 28th November 2025. How do we reconcile the fact that despite the Supreme Court observations, despite the Supreme Court's overt comments on some of these issues, the state still went ahead, and even the judges themselves, given some of these things you pointed out, a case of the clipper not being sharp or the barber not being good enough?
Well, it's very baffling, Victor. It's very, very troubling. I would refer you back to the case of 1963. His prosecution too by the state, by the Tafawa Balewa, or what people called northern-led federal government, was also very attrition. He was accused to have committed treason and treasonable felony. Tell me, as a civilian, how possible it is for a civilian to overthrow a government. It has never happened anywhere. But Awolowo was accused and tried for attempt to overthrow the federal government, and he was convicted for that. And later on, when the Justice Joe, a very capable judge of high integrity, wrote his memoirs, he confessed that in rendering that judgment, convicting Awolowo, yes, in rendering that judgment, convicting him and sentencing him, he felt that his hands were tied. What does that tell you? It tells you that the case was bigger than him. There are cases that can be bigger than judiciary. Cases of national, cases that border on national security and high political content are better handled politically.
such as that of Nelson Mandela, as well, in the end, it proved bigger than the South African judiciary. It was resolved politically.
So can we say Nnamdi Kanu's case falls under one of those cases that is bigger than the judiciary?
Yes, I said Nnamdi Kanu's case was bigger than the judiciary. I said it from the get-go. If you gave it to the judiciary to handle it, to resolve it, he was prone to make error or make mistakes because the overbearing weight of the state was too much to the point that it could tilt the scale of justice in the wrong way. The judiciary is not immune from a lot of things that you and I are also not immune from. So from the get-go, I was afraid that this matter was inappropriate to be resolved by the judiciary, that if you gave it to the judiciary to resolve, it could make a monumental error, and it happened. So like that of Mandela, and of course also the had of that of Nnamdi, he was also released from prison. He didn't serve his term. Mahatma Gandhi was convicted at some point in South Africa. He didn't serve his term. He led to the case eventually went to political resolution. Even in India, Martin Luther King, United States, the same thing. It was resolved by the White House. And in fact, it was Martin Luther King's legal problems in the southern part of the United States relating to Jim Crow laws and segregation that led to the promulgation or enactment of Rights Act in 1964. So eventually, the issue of segregation, discrimination, Jim Crow laws, and all those ills that were plaguing American society in the late 50s and early 60s were not resolved by the judiciary, but by the executive branch through a political process.
Let's looking at your role as lead counselor at the time you did. By hindsight, is there anything you think you would have done differently?
No, I'm proud of my state. I'm proud of my team that worked with me at the time. We kept the faith and we tried to block trial. When I use the word block, yes, I'm proud to use the word because the first duty of the Criminal Defense Council is to block a trial in which he believes the High Court has no jurisdiction, or to prevent it, if you want to use that word, or at least to put the court to the first task of determining its jurisdiction before it goes to trial. Assuming the case stayed that way, we wouldn't have had any trial. Justice Peter Monitor and in fairness to her, was ready to give us adjournment sine die to determine, to allow time for the court to determine whether she had jurisdiction or not. She said it's an open court herself. So if what we were doing had continued and there was no change of pattern, there wouldn't have been a trial. If there was no trial, there wouldn't have been any conviction and sentencing. But that is not to say that the council started to go over and took the case to trial and made a mistake. No, they didn't. They have a different strategy. They felt that the case had no merit to begin with. And I agree with them. Because I was also a member of the team, a junior member, but a member anyway. I agree with them that the case had no merit. That was why I said at an interview that your words alone, spoken in Kenya, your words alone, spoken in Kenya or Britain, cannot be a basis for convicting you for things that occurred in Nigeria, and in which case nobody came forward to the court to say it is your words, those words you spoke in Kenya or Britain, that made me to kill someone in Nigeria. There was no such evidence before the court. So based on that, the senior lawyers that led our team from February or March 2025 believed that this case had no merit, and that was why they put it to the test of a full-blown trial.
Let's look at
Igbo leaders, how are they rallying around Kanu? Have they abandoned him?
No, no, Igbos will never abandon Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for now is the big elephant in the room as far as the Igbo are concerned. They have rallied. He has had a lot of August visitors. There's a rank bishop or a bishop from Igbo land who visited. The governor of Abia State, I commend him very strongly for visiting him. Elects His Excellency. He did the right thing by visiting him, showing fraternity. It's very conceit, very courageous step for him to have taken. Honorable Biagocha, a ranking member of the House of Representatives, also has visited Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and so on and so forth. So, and I have a hunch that a lot more prominent Igbo persons will be visiting him. But also let me use this opportunity to commend Igbo youths and Igbo in general for taking this thing well. You know, I had this fear that it may have led to an arrest. When I was to Operation Waiting in Western Nigeria, houses to report people were killed, the West was on fire. So that Igbo land restrained itself is something to be commended. And that restraint is going to is going to, I think, make us all to have a very good Christmas this year, free of insecurity and everything. And I join my voice to the voices of Igbos who have called on Igbo to continue to be restrained, to maintain the peace and all that, so that Igbo land would have a taste of security like it used to do before. So, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is our favorite son. Igbo will never abandon him. They don't. Igbos don't abandon their own in a foreign land or their own who is in stress. So Igbos are standing by him. I know that. I'm involved. I get phone calls, text messages, and everything has always been about expression of solidarity and fraternity, which they happen to all of us. It's not only to him.
Do you think his movement to Sokoto was to limit the constant flow of people, or if you like, support for him?
That may have been. That may have been, but I am not going to speculate. But I do believe that the practical implication or the practical consequence of that is what you have said. He has limited. I know one of my colleagues, Barrister Patrick Agassiz, and the other one, Barrister Jude Bukwani, they've been attempting to travel to Sulubu to see him for the past 1 week. They couldn't get a flight. Barrister Patrick came from him. We had to return. Barrister Jude is in Abuja here, so he left this morning. It was only today he got a flight. So the consequence of that has been that it has reduced the access to him of people that normally would have had easier access to him if he were in the vicinity of Abuja.
We've heard so much talks about political solution, and you've alluded to the fact that when you have cases that are bigger, the examples that you've cited within and outside Nigeria, we tend to look at political solution. How soon are we expecting this to happen?
Well, in the end, it has to happen, and it has to happen soon. Because there's a limit to how something like this should drag on. I don't see anything that Nigerian government would benefit from keeping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in detention for the long haul. Peace and reconciliation need to return to the land. And the very first step, and in fact the most effective step, the government can take in doing that, the federal government, is to have him released as soon as possible.
Like some persons now do the opinion that given what the government has subjected Kanu to, the government should apologize to him and release him unconditionally.
Well, it's a very good question. Let me begin with that judgment of Abia State High Court that I referred to previously, that was delivered on 22nd January 2022. Now, in that judgment, the judge, in addition to ordering the federal government to pay 1 million, ordered the federal government to apologize
2017. The apology never came. What came was more prosecutions. What came was more amendments of charges that now graduated them from treasonable felony and treason to incitement of terror. Do you understand? So they never apologized. That judgment also directed the federal government to pursue political solution. A lot of people don't know this, but I had done an interview previously where I called the attention of the federal government to that and the Nigerian public. It was never implemented. Okay? The one from the federal high court, Umaya, also ordered the federal government to apologize to them. The federal government never did. Now this has occurred. The conviction has occurred. Well, the government might feel that it will be a very strange act of governance to apologize to somebody that in court convicted. That is where how the government will feel. But the place where the government can feel sorry or can have a rethink about this matter is to consider the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, consider him finally released from prison. You don't have to mount it. Sometimes the best sorry is not saying sorry, realizing your conduct. That's how it is.
You expect a speedy release or a speedy resolution of this problem?
There's no problem really. The problem is that of injustice to a certain set of people. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was fighting against injustice, being living against illegal. He took the high road in 2015 when Buhari came to power. People seem to have lost sight of what the bone of contention was. The bone of contention wasn't terrorism or treason, but agitation for a separate state. And there's a proviso in that. If you treat us well, we're happy to be Nigerians. That's what he said. He has always said that. He has always made it clear that Biafra is not our son, it's a means to an end. If you don't treat us well, equally, as Nigerians, then you let us go and have a separate state. That's what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was saying. What is wrong in that? It's called self-determination. Do you understand that you now turn into something that has impact from terrorism impact is something that baffles every reasonable mind. So the bone of contention is agitation for justice, political justice. That's all. So if we can pedal back and go to the basics and ask ourselves as a society, as a government, what really is the matter? The matter is justice for all. So why don't you engage in dialogue and have a common ground where you can, a point where you can get to say, yes, we agree, this is how the federation should proceed from now on, so that every part of the federation gets a fair shake. That is all. If you do that, I don't think there will be anybody that would resort to dissent or disagreement or agitation or protest or whatever. People who have a tendency of being happy and they will channel their grievances through the political process or the institutions we have, like the assemblies, and the executive branch. Nobody will go outside of that. But when you have someone on a political chokehold and you're not letting go, the reaction of that person, the only reaction might just be a resort to agitation for a separate state.
That is the end of the whole thing. And I thank you all for watching. Thank you for being part of this very amazing section. It is good that sometimes we refresh the memories of people for people to know how far the lawyers have gone, to know what the lawyers have done and what they have done. So many things have happened and transpired, and sometimes it seems as if we are losing our mind. It seems as if we are losing what is actually going on. So that is why we have to refresh your memory most times. We come back and talk about these issues and we will touch it again and again. So wherever you are watching us from, wherever you are, please continue to be strong, continue to pray for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, pray for Mazi Simon Ekpa, and continue to be strong. Our redemption is close. Our freedom is very close. It's all in our hand. This is a time for us to be strong more than ever before. So I appreciate everybody that have been on this platform. I thank everyone that participated on Sit at Home once again, whichever group where you belong. Always be sincere, truthful, pursue the unity of purpose. Our direction is one: Biafra, freedom. Biafra, freedom. Biafra, freedom. No matter the group where you are, focus on that. Take your mind away from attack to each your brothers and sisters. Take your mind away from propaganda. Anybody, everyone is free to join the agitation in any group that you are satisfied with, any group that your mind accepts, that you know with this group you can be able to work. Please go on and do what you have to do. Let us see the work. When we see the work, we are going to promote it for the sake of Biafra. When we see your good work, we will promote it for the sake of Biafra. I don't promote black propaganda. I don't promote blackmail. I don't promote idiocy. I promote facts and figures. Once I see it, you don't need to convince me. When I see, I will be convinced myself and I will advertise it. May Chukwu Abiyama continue to guide and protect every one of us as Biafrans. And may Chukwu Abiyama continue to guide our leaders, more especially Mazi, Nnamdi, Kanu, and Mazi Simon Ekpa. Thank you so much for being on this program. See you tomorrow morning. If you have not yet subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. Like and share if you have not done so. See you tomorrow morning. Try as much as possible to join us early so that we can start up early together and you will have all the part of the message. If you have not yet clicked the notification bell, touch your notification bell. Refresh it. If you're not getting my notification, touch the notification bell again so that you get notification. See you tomorrow morning. We will come back again and do what we know how to do best. Good night, everybody. Good night.
This is from Biafra's Got Talent. We are letting Biafrans know the reason why we should remember those who gave their lives for us, those who died, that we may live.
You died to end my suffering. You died fighting for my freedom. Your blood is the seed of redemption. You are my inspiration.
The deed no longer them, military shots at them. 67 to 70, we remember them. 2016, 38 May, memory still lives in our mind till today. Wonder why they refuse to publicize the genocide. The world media turn blind eyes to our plight. It's time to arise, land of the rising sun. Let's rise one more time, let's rise.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes, those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Tell them I got that day. Remember when me tell you say I got that day. Yeah, I remember that one that called sabotage. But the way you go like a papa nuku. But them they will go hero. Me tell you what I look pandi, what pandi samiro. Me tell you what I day. For me the plan and the rest of man I tell you what I am. Me never give up. Me tell them
I want to promise you something today. We must fight together, no retreat and no surrender. We must hold them down till the end of time. The most important thing is that we will restore Biafra. May your soul rest in peace.
I look up to the sky with tears in my eyes for other Biafrans and for freedom and to die. We will never forget you as the days go by. You are always in my heart. We'll never be apart.
They fought for our freedom. They died for our freedom. They fought the Nigerian soldiers in the war front without food, without guns, for our freedom, for our life, for our own good, for our children. We love them, our heroes. We want them.
My heart bleeds when I saw them slain. Where will I be now if not then?
They will remain indelible in my heart forever, 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 and ever, and ever, and ever.
We serve in your plantation, and the way you paid us back with your bloody starvation. We bled in our history, that the death of our people is a mystery. No going back to get to a victory. I had a voice now call for vengeance. I never get bombed, I'ma blow like a vengeance.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Where will I be now? If not you, you died at Mali.
They were starved to death because of our freedom, and they paid the debt for our freedom. Flag high for those that died in the genocide, fighting for you and I. There is pain in the heart, we bleeding inside, tears in the eyes, so I'm falling here.
This is for my fallen heroes. Give them motivation, people. It's like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Cause to be a cast, I need to be a nurse. If we did not retire,
They paid the ultimate price. They died for the freedom of my unborn child. We live for the legacy.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright. Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Onitsha massacre, Ipocha massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Yeah, put the flag in the air. Never be afraid. March on, cause we are more than conquerors. Yeah, you know what it is.
I'm looking at myself in
We
the
must
mirror.
revenge, and we must stand to represent who we are.